Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. What's up, Morgan?
Hey, y'all. Hey, how we feeling on a Thursday?
That's black and highly favored. What's happening, Morgan?
I love to hear it. All right, so first on front page, the Wall Street Journal is reporting President Trump was informed back in May that the Justice Department, by the Justice Department, that his name appears multiple times in the Jeffrey Epstein files. Now, the outlet said officials told Trump during a routine briefing that the files contain what believed was unverified hearsay about many people, including Trump. One administration official told the Journal that hundreds of other names are contained in the documents. Trump was also reportedly told by the DOJ that they did not plan to release more documents because they contained child pornography. Now, the new report comes days after the Journal published a story about an alleged birthday letter sent by Trump to Epstein, to which Trump is suing the outlet and its owners for $20 billion. Elsewhere, Jeffrey Epstein's brother has come out and said that President Trump's claims on never visiting the sex offender at his office is just another blatant lie. Mark Epstein refuted the president's claim and said that people worked for Jeffrey in his office and they could testify that they saw Trump in Jeffrey's office on numerous occasions. So just, a little tidbit there regarding those files that everybody wants to see and we're still waiting for.
Is he, did they say whether he's mentioned in there because of allegations or just association?
Just right now, it says here, quote, unverified hearsay about many people, including Trump. So
I have a theory that Republicans are tired of Trump, and we about to witness a political coup, and they're going to use the Epstein files to get him out of here and take their party back. But I'll explain more during Donkey of the Day later.
But I won't get too much into that. The White House says that former President Obama tried to sabotage President Trump after his 2016 election victory. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said newly declassified documents confirm those allegations. Let's take a listen to her comments.
The Obama administration manufactured politicized intelligence, which was later used as the justification for baseless smears against President Trump.
So Leavitt said the documents also further confirmed there was no collusion between President Trump and Russia. This comes as Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard said the Obama administration colluded with the intelligence community to go after President Trump. She said Obama officials suppressed evidence and withheld the truth from the American people. Gabbard called the report troubling and said that, and she spoke more about the findings involving the Obama administration. Let's take a listen to Tulsi Gabbard's comments.
There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Obama and his national security team directed the creation of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false. The report that we released today shows in great detail how they carried this out. They manufactured findings from shoddy sources. They suppressed evidence and credible intelligence.
And yes, so Obama's office has responded to the allegations, calling them outrageous, bizarre, and a weak attempt at distraction.
Yeah, deflection, distraction. Like, what about those Epstein files, though? That's why I keep saying don't stop talking about those Epstein files. Like, Trump treats Obama and Democrats the way some people in the culture treat Jay-Z and Rock Nation. Okay.
It doesn't make any sense. We're talking about something for
whatsoever.
2016. Like, what are we talking about?
So why he didn't do this in his first term?
Exactly.
What about the files?
Exactly.
Though?
He heard his name was in the Epstein files and said, all right, no more Epstein files. We're going to hold that off.
Bro, the Epstein files is where the conversation should stay, okay? Especially when you see the House took the summer off so they don't got to take a vote on the Epstein file. That should tell you everything that you need to know. The House took the whole summer off, 2 months, so they don't have to vote on the Epstein files. What about everything else going on in the world?
But wait, not before the House Republicans voted on, at least a House committee on Tuesday approved an amendment to call the Kennedy Center First Lady Melania Trump Opera House. You know, they had time to do that. So House Republicans, of course, want to rename the Kennedy Center's Opera House after First Lady Melania Trump. And on Tuesday, they approved an amendment to do that, calling it the First Lady Melania Trump Opera House. The proposal came from Idaho Republican Mike Simpson, and of course it passed along party lines. If it becomes law, Congress would need to approve the broader If it would become law, Congress approves the broader GOP spending bill that funds the Department of Interior, EPA, and other agencies. So yeah,
I have no idea what that even means. I don't, watch.
The Kennedy Center might become.
Change the name.
Lady Melania Trump Opera House.
As long as they don't mess with the Apollo, I'm cool. I don't know nothing about it.
He might next. He might next. Though. He might next.
I don't know nothing about Kennedy.
Not my hood.
I just
not my
don't know
hood.
anything about it. I don't know anything about the Kennedy.
All right, y'all. That's your front page news for 6 a.m. Stick around at 7 a.m. We're talking more presidential stuff. And, of course, that viral stop in Jacksonville has developed with that story. So stick around.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get back in some front page news. What's up, Morgan?
Hey, y'all. Hey, so President Trump wants America to be the world leader in AI. Trump addressed a summit in Washington, D.C. yesterday where he unveiled his AI action plan for the U.S. Now, the plan has 3 main parts: accelerating innovation, building out AI infrastructure, and making American hardware and software the standard AI platform. Let's take a listen to President Trump's comments regarding AI.
Whether we like it or not, we're suddenly engaged in a fast-paced competition to build and define this groundbreaking technology that will determine so much about the future of civilization itself.
So Trump also wants to cut down on regulatory red tape when it comes to building energy plants to power and growing technology. So, yeah. See where we stand when it comes to artificial intelligence. Elsewhere in news, the man who pled guilty to killing 4 University of Idaho students in 2022 has been sentenced to 4 life prison sentences with no possibility of parole as part of the plea deal. Bryan Kohberger sat in court yesterday as Judge Stephen Hippler read the sentence for the death of one of the victims, adding the families are allowed to grieve how they see fit. Let's take a listen to Judge Stephen Hippler's comments and the reading of that sentence.
For first-degree murder of Kaylee Gonsalves, I sentenced the defendant to a fixed term of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Yet even if I could force him to speak, which legally I cannot, how could anyone ever be assured that what he speaks is the truth? None of us have experienced the loss these victims have in the unspeakable way that they have. And therefore none of us can, nor should we, question the way in which they have handled their loss.
So the sentence was the same for the other 3 victims. Family members and friends gave emotional impact statements in court yesterday. Now, Kohberger admitted to the killings, which drew nationwide attention in a plea deal to avoid the death penalty. As part of the deal, he was not required to explain his motive for the crimes. Now, the White House has weighed in as well. And Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said the country mourns the lives of the 4 Idaho students Kohberger killed and praised for the families. Let's take a listen to Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt on this.
We are so sorry for the grief and the pain you have experienced at the hands of such a vicious and evil killer. If it were up to the president, he would have forced this monster to publicly explain why he chose to steal these innocent souls.
Yeah, it was horrible, man. One of the family members stood up and told him the only thing you failed more miserably at than being a murderer is trying to be a rapper.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't understand that one. I mean, I didn't get it, but they were visibly mad. I guess he was just trying to, hurt them. That's why I be thinking sometimes they should let these family members, man, get their licks off, man, physically.
Physically just beat them up.
Yeah, man. Let it, like, why not? Like let them get their licks off. All of them. That one dude in the room with all of them. Any family member they want to bring, and they get 5 minutes.
Get closure. That's their way of closure.
Because he absolutely deserved that sentence. I just wonder if the justice system be knowing something we don't know, like. You get 4 life sentences because they know you got to go to prison in your afterlife too. You know what I mean?
Goodness. Yeah, the victim's sister, Kaylee Gonsalves, she definitely had a read for the suspect for sure. Elsewhere in news, more on the viral traffic stop out of Jacksonville, Florida. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump is applauding William McNeil for taking a punch while exercising his constitutional right to ask why he was being pulled over and why he was being asked to step out of the car. Now, Crump demanded answers and has a message for Jacksonville's sheriff. McNeil says he was just asking why he was getting pulled over and asked why he was being asked to step out the car. Now, Crump and McNeil held a press conference recently about the incident. Let's take a listen to their comments in part.
What he exhibited was a 21st century Rosa Parks moment. This was a classic case of driving while black. To the sheriff, you can't justify this. You can't condone this. You have to condemn this.
That day I just really wanted to know while I was getting pulled over, and I know I didn't do nothing wrong.
So McNeil's legal team wants accountability and the deputy to be fired. Earlier this week, while releasing body camera video, Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Waters said an administrative investigation is ongoing, so he won't defend or commend the officer's actions, but noted McNeil was not complying with deputies. He added the state's attorney's office has determined officers did not violate the law. McNeil pleaded guilty to resisting an officer and driving with a suspended license.
Yeah, I mean, once again, that cop had no business, punching that young man in the face. But I do want to hear more from Ben Crump on this because, like I said, I agree with him that the cop is absolutely wrong for punching that man, escalating it to that. But that man also knew he didn't have a license. And the cops told the guy why he pulled him over. And I just feel like the young man was... To know he didn't have a license, the young man was acting. He was acting out.
Right, but I guess Ben Crump is also saying, he's a black man in a car who didn't have a lights on. Do people get pulled over for that? I guess that's what he was saying. But you can get pulled over for not having a seatbelt. I have before. You can get pulled over for not having your lights on.
Absolutely, you can.
But I guess that's his whole thing. Like with everything, all the traffic violations we see day in and day out. He got pulled over for not having his lights on.
I just wish the brother would have been like, look, I don't have a license.
Yep, you and me both.
I wish he'd have did that instead of, reacting the way that he did. Even though nothing justifies him getting punched in the face.
Nothing at all.
But I know that eventually that's going to come up. They're going to use all of that against him.
Well, anytime you get pulled over, they ask for your license. Once they pull you over, they want to know who they're talking to. They're going to ask for your license. And, it's just a sad situation.
They're going to use the fact he didn't comply.
Correct.
They're going to say that he resisted. They're going to say, his license was suspended.
Yep.
But they're going to say he had weed in his pocket.
Yep.
But none of that is a justification of why he got, punched in the face.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, that's your front page news. You guys can follow me. I'm Morgan Wood. Y'all can follow me on socials at Morgan Media. And for more news coverage, follow at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit us at BINnews.com. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Morgan.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.